Now at 6, it's the story you haven't yet heard about a family's tragedy.
That was the last conversation.
Tonight, in a CBS 4 News exclusive, a brother describes his pain and his inspiration from the death of Trayvon Martin. Good evening, I'm Antonio Mora. Jahvaris Fulton is Trayvon Martin's older brother. He's a college student whose story hasn't been told until tonight. You'll hear from him in a moment, but first we want to bring you up to date on the investigation. The city of Sanford has started its search for an interim police chief. Bill Lee stepped aside in the wake of the city's handling of the Trayvon Martin case. The search is expected to take up to a month. George Zimmerman's family hit the national airwaves last night to defend George Zimmerman's shooting of Trayvon Martin. And in a bizarre twist, the Orlando Sentinel reports Zimmerman is getting the support of the Gainesville pastor who became infamous when he burned the Koran. Terry Jones is even holding a march in Zimmerman's name. CBS 4's Gio Benitez joins us now. And Gio, you sat down with Trayvon's brother. How's he coping?
Well, Antonio, he says he's strong in part because he doesn't fully understand that his brother is dead. Tonight, in his first television interview, Jahvaris says he thinks his brother Trayvon was the victim.
I didn't believe it. And I kind of still don't believe it, which is why it's not easy for me to talk about him, because I just think he's coming back.
For the first time since Trayvon Martin's death, his 21-year-old brother, Jahvaris, sits down with us to reflect.
Right now, I just think he's away right now. You know, he went to go visit some family, and then he just didn't come back yet.
Police say 17-year-old Trayvon Martin died at the hands of neighborhood watchman George Zimmerman. Trayvon was walking back home from a convenience store. Zimmerman thought he looked suspicious and called police. He followed Trayvon. What happens next is not clear, but Trayvon ended up dead with a gunshot wound to the chest. Zimmerman told police he shot Trayvon in self-defense.
It's just baffling how people, they just take his word for it as if that's exactly what happened and no question about it.
WOFL-TV in Orlando interviewed Zimmerman's dad.
I was listening to Zimmerman's father speak yesterday, and he said
Trayvon Martin got on top of him and just started beating him in the face, in his nose, hitting his head on the concrete.
Zimmerman's dad said Trayvon told Zimmerman, "You're going to die tonight."
that doesn't sound like my brother at all.
He's heard the cries for help on the 911 calls.
So you think he's yelling help?
Yes.
I would think it was my brother, but I'm not completely positive that that's him.
Jahvaris is studying information technology at FIU, but after Trayvon's death, he almost gave that up. You were considering not coming back to school?
Yeah, I still don't really want to be here right now. But I think about him and then my future, and so here I am.
He remembers his last conversation with his brother.
We had a previous argument, and so the last conversation was us making up, actually. Him telling me he was sorry, and then that was that.
He says George Zimmerman should be arrested.
I think it sends the wrong message. It tells people that, you know, you can murder someone, no one sees it, and you say self-defense.
Jahvaris told me today his brother loved aviation so much he wanted to be a pilot or an airplane mechanic. If you want to watch the entire interview with Jahvaris, we've posted it online at cbsmiami.com.
He also talked to you about Trayvon and his size, because that's something that he says has just been mistaken, a lot of the information that's been out there.
He says he's very tall, about 6'2", and he believes he weighed about 145 pounds, so very skinny.
All right. Thank you, Gio.